welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Christina if you're new here. For today's video, I am going to be showing you guys my October TBR list. Last month, September, I wasn't really able to read as many books as I would have liked to. It kind of got like sidetracked with school and work and my other commitments and my priorities that were outside of reading. So I did get a little bit behind on my reading goal, so there are probably like 2 repeats in here from my last TBR video, but other than that, I think these ones are all pretty new ones that I just picked up within the last week that I want to read for October. So let's get on to my TBR. I have quite a thick stack here. A little thick stack. It's actually not as thick as I would like it to be, but this is kind of the ones I am for sure wanting to read before October ends. And my goal is to read all 6 of these books. Well, 7 of the books, because I don't have one yet, which I will get into that one. Okay, so the first book I have is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think this one was in my last TBR or my goal to read for September, or in one of my book pickups, but I'm sure I mentioned this book already. But I loved The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So that book is one of my top tier 5-star reading books. So I wanted to read another book by Taylor, but I decided to go with this one because I heard this one's a really great book. I've actually heard mixed reviews on it, but I'm just gonna go with the good reviews and say I'm gonna like it because I already loved The Seven Husbands. So yeah, I love like historical fiction. I think I'm gonna like this one a lot. The next one, this one has been on my TBR list for the last like 5 months, but I haven't mentioned it. But it's one of the books I really wanted to read, but I just haven't gone around to buying it or finding it for that point. This one is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I heard that Mia Sheridan's writing style is just like Colleen Hoover's, so I really wanted to get into her as an author. And I also heard that this book is really sad, so I have to read this book. I heard that it gives you this feeling where like you're not in real world, like you're sunken into this book, and I think that that's the feeling I had when I was reading It Ends With Us. It's also the same feeling I had when I was reading The Seven Husbands. Like I just didn't think I was in this time. I thought I was experiencing what the characters in the books were going through. So I'm really interested in reading this book. I will read this one. Archer's Voice. I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine, to forget everything I had left behind. The sound of rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. For 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived and my dad didn't. I'm almost safe again, but the moment I meet Archer Hale, my world tilts on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one, yet in his whiskey-colored eyes, something intangible happens between us. There's so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the way his hands communicate with me, on me. But this town is mired in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive center of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might just find what we need to heal and to live. This next book I have also been wanting to read, but it's just not my type of genre of reading. This is The Inheritance Games. I'm not even going to give a description of this book because I'm sure you guys have seen it all over Book Talk or Instagram, and I'm pretty sure it's on BookTube as well, but I heard that this book in the series is a really great series, so I just want to learn the storyline and just dip into something that's not a usual read that I would see myself reading. Of course, this wouldn't be a TBR list without some Colleen in it, and there are 3 Colleen Hoover books that I want to get into. The first one is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. This one is Morgan Grant and her 16-year-old daughter Clara would like nothing more than to be nothing alike. Morgan is determined to prevent her daughter from making the same mistake she did by getting pregnant and married way too young. Morgan put her own dreams on hold. Clara doesn't want to follow in her mother's footsteps. Her predictable mother doesn't have a spontaneous bone in her body. With warring personalities and conflicting goals, Morgan and Clara find it increasingly difficult to coexist. The only person who can bring peace to the household is Chris, Morgan's husband, Clara's father, and the family anchor. But that peace is shattered when Chris is involved in a tragic and questionable accident. The heartbreaking and long-lasting consequences will reach far beyond just Morgan and Clara. While struggling to rebuild everything that crashed around them, Morgan finds comfort in the last person she expects to, and Clara turns to the one boy she's been forbidden to see. With each passing day, new secrets, resentment, and misunderstandings make mother and daughter fall further apart. So far apart, it might be impossible for them to ever fall back together. So I love family dramas, and I heard that this book is really good. I think it's like one of those beginner reads for Colleen if you're not into like the spicy part of Colleen. At least that's what I heard. My second Colleen book is Layla. I think this book's gonna be really great for Halloween time, closer to Halloween time, because more of the spookier books of Colleen's. It's supposedly like the same kind of ish genre of Verity. Layla fighting for her life after works in the hospital. Layla recovers physically, but the emotional and mental scarring has altered the woman's Leeds fell in love with. In order to put their relationship back on track, Leeds whisked Layla away to the bed and breakfast where they first met. Once they arrive, Layla's behavior takes a bizarre turn, and that's just one of the many inexplicable occurrences. Feeling distant from Layla, Leeds soon finds solace in Willow, another guest of the B&B with whom he forms a connection with through their shared concerns. As his curiosity for Willow grows, his decision to help her find the answers put him in direct conflict with Layla's well-being. Leeds soon realizes he has to make a choice because he can't help both of them, but if he makes all the wrong choices, it could be detrimental for all of them. So, wow, like, just look at this cover. It just looks creepy. Can't wait to read this. My third Colleen Hoover book I did not have with me currently, and that is because I pre-ordered it, and it starts with us. I really loved It Ends With Us, and just reading it from Lily's point of view. I don't know why that took me forever to find her name, but from Lily's point of view. But I really want to read Atlas's point of view, which I think this book is supposed to be underneath like Atlas's POV. And I think I'm really gonna enjoy the read and just kind of see where they take off from where they last left off on in the last book. So I cannot wait for that to get here. I just want it in my hands. And the last book on my TBR list is kind of like one of my ones I want to read soon. It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han, and like I said earlier, I read the Summer I Turned Pretty last month, and I cried like a baby at the end, and I think that this is gonna be kind of a twist on Belly's and Conrad's and Jeremiah's story. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of her brother in it, so I am really interested to see where this next book takes us and where it takes us with Conrad and Belly. That is it for my October TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!